who is the person that hires for these people? You need to think about that. You need to think about who hires for these people. So people that hire for kind of people like this are people in the comms department, right? So it could be head of comms, right? Head of comms could be, it could be media personnel. How do they always call it? Media person, or it could be the press officer, right? So it could be the head of comms of the person, it could be the media person, it could be the press officer of that. Because if it's like a government parastatal, so they have a press officer. So if it's like the corporate organization, they have the head of comms, head of communications, right? Tech company will have head of comms too. Same here. Non-profit will have head of comms. So everybody has a media department that takes care of hiring photographers, videographers for those kind of jobs. So your job is to figure out who are those people, right? So the simple way to go about it is, let me do this. Are you done with this one?
Yes.
Yeah. So let me do a cycle. So this first cycle is that you go to Google, right? You Google the company's name or the organization, whatever it is, the parastatal. Then it takes you to their website. That means you now look at their website, right? So this Google would be the name of organization, right? You type in the name of organization, and all you're seeking there is to get the website, right? Once you get to the website, all you're now seeking in the website is for you to get contact. Contact of what? Head of comms, media person, or press officer. Does that make sense? Yeah. And once you get the contact could be email, contact could be name. Once you get that one, you come to the next circle of this, what we are doing, which what you now do is to go to LinkedIn. So now you've gotten a name here.
Yeah.
From the website. You know a name. You might not get the emails, but you know a name. Yeah. So you now take the name and go to LinkedIn and search. When you now search from the LinkedIn name, you will now find the person. That's where you now get the email. So either you send the person an email or you add the person up on LinkedIn and make sure you engage with the person's post and send network requests and all of that so the person can see what you do. You repeat this circle. This is client acquisition for this kind of setting that you're trying to go to. Online. There could be an offline version of it, but this is what you can do in the comfort of your house with the internet. You go to Google and say, Google names of NGOs in Nigeria. Names of 5 top NGOs in Nigeria. Google brings names out. You go to the names of those NGOs and find their website. You click on their website, they will show their staff. You go to the staff and find the contact, because on the website you find contact, you see the managing director, the founder, you see the head of this, head of that. So you find only the head of comms or media person or press officer. Get the name from there, come to LinkedIn and search for the name there. You find the person there. And then you now add the person up and then get the email from there and then send the email. The email will now be, because you know where they work, you now be not your overall portfolio, but a selected portfolio for that specific person. We do this over and over and over and over and over again. That now means that you will have to create your own LinkedIn profile and post things that has to do with all of this. Does that make sense? I will come when I come to the kind of content you should create. I'll talk about those ones. But this is the client acquisition machine for this job. And for the other part that you could do, the second part of this client acquisition, you still go to Google again. Google is our guy. So you ask Google for events. So you ask Google for events in that space. They say end of year events for Ministry of this, end of year events for this kind of company. Google will bring out the date of the event. Will show you event date and venue, right? And if it's free to enter, or even if it's paid and you can afford it, you do what? You pay for the event and you go for the event. If it's free, you go for the event. You photograph, but you also go there to meet people. Should you dress very corporate? Of course you can. Then, you remember the people that we are going to look for. When we go to that event, we are looking for them. Because we have done this one, we know who they are. We can even find their faces. And we have connected with them on LinkedIn. So now, in the physical event, we can now say, it's me introduce yourself. Right? Oh yeah, I know you and all of that. If you can give me your email, I'll send you the images after this event. Now you've taken it from online to physical event. Same thing. And even on their website, they might have notices of all of these events that they have. And if it's not open for everybody at this point, when you search it and it's not open for everybody, so they will say it's strictly by what? Invitation. So you need IV, right? Yeah. So what you now do, if they say you need an IV, is for you now to go back to this email and email them and propose partnership. You propose media partnership. It's not as a discounted rate. Like maybe it could be, if you're just trying to get clients, you could actually say it's 100% discount. You would be their media partner, you give them images that they could use during the event and all of that and all of that. You use that and send them an email. If they agree, they will now give you the IV to now attend the event. But you don't send it to the organization's email. You send it to DIPS. Because even the media person is looking for someone to partner with them when they're trying to do events that can save them money or can deliver the good work. When you're starting out, you don't have a lot of them. You go to the media partnership. When you start getting the events and you have the pictures, the portfolio to show for, you don't do this again for free. You just tell them this is your fee, but you want to be a partner. You get into the event, deliver, Google it again. It's hard work. It's not something that is really easy for people to do, but it's difficult, but it works. Do you understand? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.